everyone. Welcome back to Daily Chit-chat. I'm Kate, and I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are.
And I'm Gavin. Thanks for tuning in again. Kate, how's your week going so far? You sound pretty energetic today.
Yeah, kind of. I had a crazy week, but I think I managed to stay, let's say, mostly sane. Lots of work, a few deadlines, and a few too many cups of coffee.
That sounds familiar. I've been drinking way too much coffee myself lately. It's like my brain refuses to start unless I've had at least 2 cups.
Same here. I think caffeine is the unofficial fuel of the modern worker.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, that ties in perfectly with today's topic, how to manage stress at work.
Exactly, because let's be honest, everyone gets stressed at work. Deadlines, emails, meetings that could have been emails.
Classic one. So today we'll chat about what causes stress, how it affects us, and what we can actually do to deal with it in a realistic, everyday way.
Right. No just breathe and meditate for 2 hours kind of advice. We're talking real life office survival tips.
Absolutely. So grab your coffee, take a deep breath, and let's jump right in.
Gavin, when I first started working full time, I thought stress meant being super busy. Like if I was running around all day, that meant I was being productive.
Yeah, that's such a common belief. Like, if you're not stressed, you're not working hard enough.
Exactly. But over time, I realized that's not true. Sometimes I was busy, but not really productive. I stay up late finishing tasks that didn't even matter that much.
I can totally relate. I used to check my emails right before bed. Terrible idea. You see one message from your boss, and suddenly your brain is like, okay, we're back at work now.
It's the worst. You can't sleep and you start mentally replying to that email.
Right. I think that's one of the sneakiest kinds of work stress, the kind that follows you home.
Yeah, that mental overtime feeling. I remember once I had this project deadline and I kept dreaming about spreadsheets and PowerPoint slides. It was ridiculous.
I've been there. You wake up more tired than before you went to bed.
Exactly. So I started setting small rules for myself, like no checking work messages after 8 p.m. It's hard at first, but honestly, it changed my evenings completely.
That's a great idea. I did something similar. I turned off my work email notifications on my phone. Out of sight, out of mind.
Nice. So basically, stress isn't just about how much work we have, it's also about how we handle it.
Yep. Which brings us to our deep dive, understanding what causes stress at work and how we can respond differently.
Okay, let's break this down. First, why do we even get stressed at work?
Good question. I think it usually comes from three things: pressure, uncertainty, and lack of control.
Ooh, that makes sense. Can you explain those a bit more?
Sure. Pressure means you have too many tasks, too little time, like a deadline is breathing down your neck.
That image is so accurate.
Then there's uncertainty, when you don't know what's expected of you or when company goals keep changing.
Yeah, like when your boss says, we might have a big change coming soon, and then tells you nothing else.
Exactly. And finally, lack of control, when you feel you can't influence the outcome, like you're just reacting to things all the time instead of making choices.
That's so true. I felt that a lot, especially in group projects. When others don't finish their parts, you get dragged into the chaos.
Yeah. And that kind of stress often leads to burnout when you're emotionally and physically exhausted.
Right. I remember a few years ago, I hit that point. I thought I just needed to push through, but my motivation dropped to zero. Even small tasks felt impossible.
That's the classic burnout cycle. Your brain basically says, nope, I'm done.
So how do we avoid that?
I'd say first, recognize your limits. People often forget that rest is also part of productivity.
Yes, I love that. Rest is not being lazy. It's actually part of doing your best work.
Exactly. Then, communication. If you're overwhelmed, talk to your manager or team. Most people won't know you're drowning unless you tell them.
True. And sometimes just saying it out loud already helps. Like, hey, I'm feeling a bit overloaded. Can we prioritize?
Yeah. And one more, learn to say no.
Oof, that's a big one, especially in workplaces where everyone's trying to be helpful or look capable.
Yeah, but saying no doesn't mean being rude. It's about setting boundaries. Like,
I'd love to help, but I'm at full capacity right now.
That's a good line. We'll come back to that when we do our role plays later.
Good idea. But before that, here's one simple mental trick I use. Whenever I feel stressed, I ask myself, is this still going to matter in a week?
Oh, that's like a perspective check.
Exactly. Because sometimes we get worked up about small things that won't matter tomorrow.
That's such a healthy mindset. Okay, let's move to the fun part, some real life role plays. Hey, Gavin, can you take on one more project this week? It's just a small report.
I'd love to help, but I'm already finishing 2 reports due Friday. If it's not urgent, can we move it to next week?
Okay. Next week works. Thanks for letting me know. That's a perfect example. You didn't just say no, you explained your situation and offered a solution.
Right. The key is showing you're willing, just not able right now. That keeps it polite and professional.
Exactly. No guilt, no drama, just clear communication.
Hey, Kate, can you help me fix my slides? I know it's last minute, but you're so good at design.
Oh, thanks. But I'm actually finishing something urgent. Maybe you could send me the slides later and I'll take a quick look tomorrow morning.
Okay. I'll try to fix it myself first then.
See? That way I didn't say no directly, but I still protected my time.
Exactly. That's called a soft refusal. It sounds kind, but sets a limit.
Yeah, and people usually appreciate that honesty more than a fake yes. Gavin, this report has too many errors. Did you even check it?
I understand your concern. I did review it, but I might have missed a few details. Could you point out what needs correction so I can fix it right away?
Sure, I'll highlight them for you. Thanks for being quick about it. Okay, that's impressive. You didn't get defensive, just calm and solution-focused.
Yeah, staying calm is key. Stress multiplies when you take things personally.
Exactly. Sometimes it's not the workload, but how we react to situations that create stress.
Right. Stress is often a signal, not the enemy. It tells us something needs attention.
All right, time for our what if section. Today's listener question is from Mia in Singapore. She asked, how do I manage stress when my boss keeps changing plans at the last minute?
Classic one. That's super stressful because it's unpredictable.
Totally. I've had bosses like that. You plan your day and suddenly everything changes.
Yeah, so my advice would be build flexibility into your schedule. Leave a little time buffer for unexpected changes.
Good one. And emotionally, try not to take it personally. Some managers just work that way. Last-minute decisions are their comfort zone.
Right, so instead of fighting it, focus on what you can control. Your attitude, your priorities, and your response.
Exactly. And if it happens too often, maybe have a friendly chat. I just want to make sure I'm meeting your expectations. Could we plan a bit earlier next time?
That's polite and proactive. You're showing responsibility, not complaint.
All right, let's wrap up with a few takeaways.
Number 1, stress is normal. It's how you respond that matters.
Number 2, set clear boundaries, know when to stop working, say no politely, and take real breaks.
And number 3, communicate. Don't carry all the pressure alone.
Exactly. And remember, rest isn't wasted time. It's how your brain recharges to do great work.
Well, that's all for today's episode of Daily Chit-chat. Thanks for joining us.
We hope you got some helpful ideas for managing stress at work, and maybe a reminder to take care of yourself too.
Yeah, close that email, take a deep breath, and maybe go for a walk after this episode.
Perfect advice. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Don't forget to follow Daily Chit-chat for more friendly English conversations every week.
See you next time, and remember, staying calm is the new superpower. Bye.
Bye.